Marvel Games is quickly building out a pretty impressive catalog of video games based on the Marvel characters. You have your AAA top-tier god-quality Marvel Spider-Man and Miles Morales, and then you have Marvel's Avengers and Ultimate Alliance, which I do love both of those. Now let's talk about Guardians and do they connect to the Avengers? So by now, I think most of us understand why exactly Marvel's Spider-Man and that universe, over exclusively on the Sony side of things, did not connect to the Avengers. Different studios, different decisions, and conflict would have been the cause of it. But at one point, we did learn that that pretty much was something that they wanted to try to do, but it ended up falling apart. So Marvel's Avengers will be introducing their own version of Spider-Man who exists in that universe. And when you look at what they were doing with the Avengers game, you notice that the Guardians and largely anything related to them was missing. Now we enter the Guardians of the Galaxy video game, where if you look at it, the aesthetics, the characters, the movement of the characters, the way everything looks and feels is very reminiscent of Square Enix's other game, aka Marvel's The Avengers. So people were wondering, does this connect to it? And Marvel Games was quick to say that this is its own take on Guardians of the Galaxy set in their own universe. But they're not saying yes, they're not saying no, they're playing very vague, and they're just sort of continuing to say the same thing. It's their own take on the Guardians, not related to anything, and set in a new universe. Which again, very vague, and I think many people expect that this is probably going to start to tease some sort of bigger crossover event or mega game build-up down the road where these Guardians come together with the Avengers and eventually there's something going on there. And I honestly could see this, but I think they're going to hold back on that for a while, because Marvel's Avengers, as we know due to financials and reports, did not exactly set the world on fire or sell through enough copies to make it worth having a sequel. Guardians could be a different story, and maybe somewhere down the road, maybe Marvel's Avengers rebounds and they go, well, now we can do it because we own both of those IPs. It's easier to connect it than anything before. But I think they're honestly telling the truth where they say, this is our own universe, it's our own thing. Maybe there'll be a couple Easter eggs in there. Maybe they'll do something to tease some sort of crossover, but I don't think they're directly connected one-to-one to anything. I don't think these guys exist in the Spider-Man universe. Well, not these versions. I don't think right now they exist in the Avengers universe. That could always change down the road, but it's going to be interesting to see how they play this because the game is coming out this year. And they're going to get asked about it constantly. So they're going to have to come up with a definitive answer, or not a, well, let's dance around it answer, which is always terrible.